What are the ins and outs of WhatsApp gifting, and have people benefited from the scheme? Joining me now to give us his experience is WhatsApp gifting active participant Danny Mokhetsi. Danny, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. How did you join this WhatsApp gifting?
Thank you so much for having me. Finally, I got to hear you guys. I think first of all, before I answer that question, it's Danny Mokhetsi, just so that people can know and have confidence in calling my name.
Mokhetsi.
Mokhetsi.
Okay.
Come from a long line of a Mokhetsi family from Lesotho.
Aha, good evening. So I just wanted us to begin here. How did you join this WhatsApp gifting?
Well, first of all, I was introduced by family. My sister-in-law was the first one to join it, and then my wife was introduced to it by my sister-in-law, and inevitably I followed suit with my wife, and it looks like I've been running with the chains for a month now.
And when you were recruited, your sister-in-law, when she was recruiting you and your wife then joining it, what were they telling you? What does it do?
I think first we should address that term recruit, because I haven't been recruited. What I basically acted upon was an invitation.
Okay.
My sister-in-law put out an invitation for my wife and said, I've joined a network of people that are able to make money during this economy. Are you interested? And I wasn't part of that conversation. All I saw was my wife acting upon that invitation. On a Sunday evening, sitting with my wife, and she was doodling on her phone, basically on WhatsApp, she's busy talking to people on the other line instead of watching TV with me. And all of a sudden, transactions of money just keeps coming into account. And I took notice of that because, hey, it's money during the lockdown. And I was like, there's something happening over here. Can you please elaborate further? So it was my wife who broke down the details and said, no, I received an invitation from Dimpo and said, no, join soon if you're interested. And she gave me the same invitation. I didn't waste any time. I joined up, and ever since then, our network has been growing, you know.
And how many people do you currently have under you, and have you been able to receive money and also, give money to others?
Okay, yeah, so again, I'm going to keep on just because there's a lot of stigmatizations attached with even the questions that have been addressed and how people view and perceive it. Like the term people under me, basically there's no one under me. I don't have anyone under me. It doesn't work like that. It's by invitation, and I just act upon basically I act upon the interest that I put out there, and someone says, hey, I'm interested, can I come through? And there's no one paying me directly under me. There is a commitment within the group which has been labeled as an investment, all right? People join up the group with an investment. That investment or that commitment to join our network becomes the actual payment that comes to me when I'm sitting at the position where I can be paid. And there's only one position that pays you in this network, and that's position 1. But I'll get into more detail as the question comes.
And I'm very interested in that, because you're saying that position 1 is the only one that guarantees you payment. So how does it then work? Does it then mean that everyone else that is coming from position 2 to 11 are then losing out their money to position 1? Or when will they also be able to make some money for themselves?
Okay, so a pyramid scheme will basically address the one concept of a person on top and receiving funds from everyone that's coming underneath. And as long as that person stays within that position, he or she maintains the shape and the structure of the pyramid scheme. So once I receive what will be labeled as my payments from investments or people that are invited within the network, I basically exit the group or I exit the network. And who remains within the network or that group are 10 participants who inevitably have already committed their funds within that network. It gets split into 2. When it gets split into 2, it's odd and even numbers. The only position, now this is where I need everyone to listen. Like I said, the only position that pays you is position 1. When it's split into even and odd numbers among 10 people, you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 becoming an even group. You have 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 becoming the odd number group. So instead of having one position, now you've got 2 and 3 occupying position number 1. So instead of working with one group or one network all the time, it keeps on growing. And this is what people tend to misunderstand and think, I'm being ripped off over here and someone is taking my money and running with it. inevitably, I want to reinvest my funds as someone that participated previously and got some payments from it. So I come back within those two groups, the even number group and the odd number group. I get what you would label as recruited, but I just act upon an invite again. And now here's the beautiful part about it. All these participants could all be in the same network, family members, colleagues, you name it, as long as it's a trusted network of people. So instead of going up like a pyramid scheme, it keeps on cycling around. That's why I label it rotating money cycle. I can't even tell you, it's a month now, right? I can't even tell you how many networks I've expended myself within just by investing my money back into other people. So I hope everyone is really listening over here. No one is tricking you out of your money. Though I should say, again, going forward with more questions, because it's a digital transactional system, it's vulnerable to scammers. That is period. Like any bank, it's vulnerable to scammers.
So, Danny, are you not, worried then, because the National Consumer Commission has declared it illegal, and there was tough talk tonight to say that anyone who's taking part in this is going to face the full might of the law. Are you not worried?
Well, look, personally, I wouldn't want to go up against the law. That is not something I want to act upon. I would stand up for my family and say I wouldn't want to go up against the law. I would basically pull out if that's the case. But what saddens me is that a couple of weeks ago, the very same law didn't care whether my family was broke, sad, or hungry, or my rent was paid. So now when people are working for themselves, amongst themselves, is a problem. The basic that we are controlling money amongst each other shouldn't be a problem trying to sustain our own families. It all comes down to sustainability of our livelihoods. When I have to stand up for my family, who right now, who I just said I would back off from this if it's against the law, but I would still stand up for them if it comes to the bottom of making money for my family. Because under this economy, under this COVID-19, we face diverse trials, so many trials.
Danny, I wish we had more time. Thank you so much for your time tonight, just to try and also just to put your side of the story as someone that is taking part in WhatsApp gifting. That's Danny Mokhetsi there, painting a picture for us of how it works. And he says that it has to be within a trusted group of people, because then, it has a minimal chance of being susceptible to scammers. But of course, expressing concern there towards the end to hear that the National Consumer Council has actually, Commission rather, has actually spoken tough against this particular form of gifting, and that anyone who's taking part in it will face the full might of the law.